Hello everyone.
Help me! Help me!
Let's draw Captain America's shield in Python. So, in today's tutorial, we'll draw Captain America's shield using Turtle and Python. Here is the execution of the code result, and here is what we are going to learn. Let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is to import Turtle. So we can import Turtle like this, but if you didn't install it already, you can install it via pip. So make sure to run this command. Then we'll create a screen, which is turtle.screen, and we give the screen a width and a height. Let's give it a width of 800 pixels and a height as well of 800 pixels. Let's also give it a background color of black via screen.pg color. Let's specify the turtle speed. Now the speed can be from 1 to 10, 1 being the slowest and 10 being the fastest. But if you specify the speed to be 0, it will be almost instantaneous. So let's specify a speed of 10 via turtle.speed. Let's define the shape of the design to be a turtle-like. And finally, let's write turtle.done. And we have our, let's say, screen. Now, let's take a look at the actual design of Captain America's shield. We only have two shapes. We have the circle, or we have many circles actually, and we have the star. So if you were to define a function that draws a circle and a function that draws a star, we can easily create this shape. So let's start by creating the function that makes a circle. Imagine that we have a color. Let's say the color is, for example, red. We have a radius of the circle to be, let's say, for example, 100 pixels. And we have x and y position of the circle within the screen. Let's say, for example, x and y equals 0, 0, meaning it should be centered around the screen. And let's create our circle. We can do that by first specifying the color of printing or drawing the circle via turtle.color, and we specify our color, which is red in this case. Then we write turtle.pen up. Now what does this do? It simply lifts the pen up from the screen so we can go from one position to another without drawing anything. And then we go to that X and Y position, turtle.go to X and Y. And you see this, for example, the circle, it will start getting drawn from this position. It will be drawn this way. So actually we need to go to this position and draw the circle like this. So we'll not go to x and y, but we will go to x and y minus the radius. Then we put the pen down to start drawing and we write turtle.circle and we give it the radius. There it is. Now the problem is that it's not filled. Uh, we just draw we just have drawn the perimeter of this of the circle. So we can easily fill it by before or after putting the pen down by writing turtle dot begin fill, And after drawing the circle, we write turtle dot and fill. Let's execute again. And we have our circle in red. Now let's make this a function. This part over here, we copy it, and we create a function that is called draw circle. That simply draws a circle. It needs a color, a radius, x and y positions, and it executes this code. Then simply let's write some docstring here, and let's say this is a function that draws a simple circle, and that's done. Now we execute it. So the first thing we are going to do is to draw first these different circles before drawing the star. So let's change this to be a function as well. Define draw shield. And we put everything within the function and simply we call it. So we haven't done anything really. So what we are going to do? First, we are going to draw this circle, then the gray one, then the red one, then the blue one. So we have 4 circles to draw. Let's start by the red one. So here we will draw the shield layer. We're gonna draw first the red circle. So we draw circle with the color red. Let's specify a radius to be 300 pixels and it will be centered on 0, 0. And let's draw another circle that is smaller than the red circle, which is the light gray circle. This time with a radius of 250 pixels. Let's see what does this give us right now. So we have our first red circle, then we have the second gray one. Okay, let's keep going. Then we draw again a red circle that is smaller and finally a blue circle. So the color of the last circle is blue and one before is red. Here the radius, let's specify to be 120 and here let's specify to be 200. You can play with these numbers as you want. Okay. Let's restart and run everything. So we have the red circle first, then we have the gray one, then we have the other red circle, and we have the blue one. So all what's left is the Captain America's shield. All what's left is to draw the star. And let's define a function here that does draw a star. It takes also a color, the size of the star, its x and y position. So how we are going to draw the star? Simply, we are going to draw a line this way, then we shift 140 degrees to draw the line this way, then 140 degrees again to draw the line like this, then this line, and finally this line. So we'll draw simply 5 lines. The reference axis for the turtle for 0 degrees is this one. So if we were to simply draw a line, the line will be drawn this way. Let's get started. So as always, we first specify the color, turtle dot color. Then we lift the pen up again. We go to the X and Y position, turtle dot go to X and Y. Let's specify later what adjustment to do for the position. Then we put the pen down again. We begin the filling. Then we specify the fill color to be the color also. So this is for the perimeter, and for the fill color, it's the color inside the perimeter, it's the surface. And let's simply write a for loop that draw the 5 circles or the 5 lines. So each time we write turtle dot forward size. Now what does this do? It simply will move the turtle forward by n pixels, and pixels being the size. Then we'll take right angle, turtle dot right 144 degrees. This is the angle that's gonna make us move from this position to this position to this position and vice versa. So this code here will draw a star. And finally we write turtle dot and fill. Okay. Finally, we'll have to call the function draw star here. So let's do that. Let's call draw star with a color of light gray. Let's specify a size to be, well, what will be the size? So here the star will be inside the circle with the radius of 120. So the diameter of the circle will be 240, and we want it to be inside of it. So let's specify something that is a bit less than 240. Let's specify 230. Then we put the position at first to be 0, 0, then we'll work from there. Let's specify here the speed to be 0 so that everything will be pretty fast. So because now we are simply configuring, we are trying to find the ultimate position for the star to be drawn at. Okay, we start and run all cells. Okay, so we have our star, which is correctly drawn. The problem is that it's not in the correct position. Let's fix that. So see, here it starts at the center, but we don't want it to start at the center, we want it to start from here. Now this distance over here is simply 120. Let's specify the distance therefore to be minus 120. But not exactly 120 because we want the star to be inside the circle. Let's specify, for example, 118. And let's restart and run all cells. Okay, now the X position is correct. We simply need to lift it a bit above. Let's say, for example, you want to lift it in the y-axis position by 38. Well, you have two methods in order to be able to get the exact coordinates, either by doing maths and with the pen and paper, and you'll find out exactly where you need to move your cursor, or simply it's a matter of trial and error. So here we move up by 38. Let's restart and run all cells again. And there you go. We have our Captain America shield. Let's see it in slow motion by setting the speed to be 10. So we have the red circle first, then we have the gray circle, and then we have the red circle again with a smaller radius. We have the blue circle, and finally we have our star. Thanks for watching.